Welcome to my Grey Hack Guide. In this episode we will be looking at hacking techniques. Grey Hack is a game where you advance and become more and more skilled by learning more and more varying and different hacking techniques. Some of you have the belief that many of the NPC servers are unhackable. In this episode we will be going over different ways of hacking, and it's not as much to show you how to hack and more to show you that it's possible, and that the way to play the game is to try different things, experiment and become more skilled, and eventually you will be able to hack into most places. The only places you won't be able to hack into are places and servers protected by other players, where they know, or well, seasoned and veteran players who know all the tricks and who are also able to protect against those tricks. So what I've done is I've selected 5 just random missions, and we'll see if we can gain root access to all of these computers, and that way you will see that it's very rare where you find a server that cannot be hacked. Let's start with this first mission. I won't complete the missions, I will just gain root access to show off how the different techniques work. We will be using the shellweb script to speed things up as well. You can watch episode 16 if you want to see how to make the shellweb script. So let's see, we need another terminal, and we'll do nmap on the target. So this is a police record mission, and the SQL server is on 1.2. You can see that it says that the port is closed, but that is incorrect. Those ports, SQL ports, are actually always open. So let's try our shellweb script, and we'll use it on 3306, which is the SQL port. That's where the database is. You can probably also do it from these other computers, but to make it harder for ourselves, let's just try it on this computer right here. As you can see from the shellweb, we did not gain access to the root password. So we only have guest shell, and that means that we can't cat the password file, which means that we can't sudo in here. But as you can see, usually this is going to be one of the techniques I show off. I've also showed it in previous videos. It's looking for active users. It likes root users, for example. So what we will do is we will email the admin and get him online. That way we will be able to shellweb in again, and this time we will probably be able to gain the password. So what we will do is we will make a you see who is command on the IP. That way we can get the admin. Then we're going to use the admin online. Then we're going to say hello admin. The company is this name right here. And the name of the contact is what we will be able to figure out since we are inside the computer. And if you go back, you can see that one of the users is called this name right here. So let's just copy that. and paste that in here, and then we'll use the email address of the admin up here and send. Thanks for the warning. I will check out to see if everything's fine. What we will do now is we will exit. We can check PS first. A bit laggy today, so as you can see there's now a D session in here, so we'll do exit, and then we'll do X, and then we'll do the shellweb again. And now you can see we got the user access, we have the root password, it deciphers the root password. We just do sudo s, and we have got root access, and it's a bit risky, so you have to keep the admin monitor going to see if an active trace is started. And we'll just remove all of these logs that we created during the hacking, and now everything is completed and you can complete the police record mission. That was one. Then we go exit. I believe that we might be able to do pretty much all of the missions like this. We'll see. But if we can't, then we might have to mix up the methods. I will show as many methods as I need to complete all of these missions. So let's try another one. This is a I don't remember what they're called. Corrupt data mission, I think. Yeah, that's it. And we'll just do another nmap on this IP. So we have an FTP server and an SSH server on the same computer. This is going to be fairly simple since it's SSH. Maybe we should pretend like there's only an FTP here, so there's no SSH, we can't use the SSH. Pretend that we only found FTP. Well, maybe not. That's gonna be more complex. I'm just thinking how complex I want to show in this video. Let's start with that and see. I think it's going to be okay. So we'll do shellweb on this new IP, and we'll select port 21, which is the FTP port, and perhaps we will get in straight away. Yeah, we got in straight away. We got root shell immediately. We just do sudo s, put the password in, and we're root. Open File Explorer. And as you can see, even though it's an FTP server, since we used the exploits to hack it, we actually got normal shell access, which means that we can open exes, programs, and run everything. There's no limitations. If you type help, there's no command, which we would have seen the limitations of the FTP server if we used help on inside an FTP shell. So that was simple. Let's try another one. If we were to try the SSH, that would have been even simpler, since SSH gives even more ways into a server. Okay, so we've done SQL, we've done FTP. Let's see here, what's this? Another police record. So let's see here. We'll do directly in the logs. I think I did it right. Yep. So we'll do exit, and we'll do another nmap. And here we have another SQL, two SQL ports. So we will do another shellweb. Wait, we need to be root shellweb, and then we'll do the IP, and then we'll do port 3306, We'll see what we get here. Okay, so this is another one of those where we got a guest shell, but not but we did not find the root password. Just looking in here to see if there are any other interesting ways of attack that we could show off. I guess not. So what we will do, as you can see, there's a bunch of no active user found, no active root user found. So what we could do is do the exact same thing that we did last time. I think this is probably going to work on almost any server, so I don't see many places where you won't get in with this method. So is but we'll see. I'll show it again. So we will do admin online, send it to the admin, tell him his name, hello admin, use the name of the company without the ending, so it's going to be without the dot, right, like so. And then we need a username, which we will just get by going back one step and selecting one of these guys. So we'll rename this. I'm just using that to copy paste, and then copy and send. Thanks for the warning, and we will exit. Again, keep admin monitor open in case they start tracing. And now when we run this, it's going to find the root password, and we have guest access, and we have we don't even have guest access, we actually have user access, and we also have the root password. Got it. And we will go into system log, remove the logs. You can also see here we have the police records, which program here, which is used to complete the police mission. So they would only take us a few more minutes or seconds here to complete the mission completely. But we're not doing that today, so we'll just exit. And we've done, this was the 202. So how many have we done? Let's remove this one. And we have 1, 2, 3. So we are going to do the fourth one. Let's see if we get something different this time. Whoops. First X, then nmap. Okay, so we have another SQL. What is this? This is academic changes. A couple of FTPs. We haven't done HTTP, so let's pretend that there are no FTP servers or services running and no SQL services running. Pretend like there's only one HTTP on here. What would happen then? So we will go into, I should also mention that all of this is done in multiplayer. So that is the reason why the versions are so high, and also the reason why there might be less found exploits or good working exploits on the different servers compared to single player. Okay, so we'll do another shellweb. Again, the shellweb script can be found, well, you can find how to make it in episode 16. There's also a shop in-game, or several shops in-game, to search for B2C. I put my scripts on there if you want to buy them instead of copying what I've done in the video. Okay, so we'll take the IP and we are going to attack port 80. That wasn't very difficult. It found the root password immediately. Perhaps we should pretend like it's the FTP server instead, because this isn't very challenging. So that's not the password. Here we go. We have root access on the server. Since it was so quick, perhaps we should try the FTP one instead. So we'll just exit here, and we'll do another one on the FTP. So we'll do 21. Both of these are running the same version, but it's different computers. So there could be some slight variation, but it shouldn't be much. We'll do port 21. Immediately as well. It's just too easy. We're on a different computer this time, and yeah, I don't think we are going to get much of a challenge out of this one. And since the version has a root shell in it, if we were to attack this computer, the result would probably be the same. So let's continue on, and we'll do the last of the 5 missions. I just got 5 random missions, so I did not know if they were easier or harder to hack. Just 5 random missions, and I'm showing you that all of them are hackable, and they're all actually even easier to hack than I imagined. I was thinking that we might get some resistance, but it's really no problem here. Okay, so we have another HTTP server and also an SQL server on 2 different. We can try both. So for the HTTP one, we'll do shellweb IP and port 80. Okay, finally we're getting some resistance. So we can change the password for this user right here. And another good thing about using a exploit script like this is that if you try to change a user's password, it's going to tell you which user it tried to change the password of, which means that it gave you the username that you can use in social engineering. And this is great. So what we can do is we can do the exact same thing, but the method of gaining the username is different. We just do who is. We'll do a new email. We'll do admin online. We'll do or put the company name, and we'll put the admin name. The admin email, and last we'll just take the username. So as you can see, it's a slight variation of this technique, but it's using the same basics. And this is the point that I'm trying to get across, that you have to find these small tricks which are everywhere in the game, and use them to your advantage, and figure out ways of exploiting and using them so that you can gain access to the target you're trying to hack. So sending the email, mail not delivered. I don't know if maybe we did something wrong. Let's do, let's make another attempt. This was the admin. This is the admin name, and this is the company, I think. Let's just double check. Trust company. Yeah, that looks good. Let's send. Okay. I mean, email is bugged sometimes, so this is going to be a bit more difficult, I think. Now, usually, this is working. As you've seen, I've used it several times already in this video, but sometimes the game is bugged and you have to find ways around that. What would be the best strategy from here? What did we have? We had an SQL port as well. We could use the SQL port to gain access, but let's some of the tricks and strategies are more advanced, so I would have to use scripts that are already made to if they might work. So what I'm doing now is much more advanced. So I am still working on the assumption that we only have access to the HTTP and that the social engineering is bugged. So what I'm going to do is use a router hack to check inside the home directory for the users on the computer. And then I'm going to grab the email of one of the, as you can see, this is much more advanced. You will, this technique is going to require a lot of custom built scripts and coding. So as you can see, there's a big difference in skill level. You can go from basic small scripts and simple exploits to much more advanced stuff if you come across something like this that does not have any exploits and does not seem to be working with the social engineering. We're going to do cat on the email, and hopefully this email right here is going to, we're going to try the online user. So we're going to go send that to this guy right here. This is his name. Maybe I should explain. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm using a router hack or a router LAN hack, which gives access to the LAN computers or computer objects. Then I'm using the computer object to read the mail information inside of the config folder inside the user, so I can find his mail account, and that way I can send him an email. I hope I don't need to send him an email where I tell him his last name, because then this won't work. Now, I'm still using social engineering, so it is possible that emailing the user is also bugged, but hopefully it was only the admin email address that was bugged. So we also need the company name. And I think you're writing to the wrong person. That's not good. Did I write you wrong? Who is? No. Who is correct. Admin name. Since it's plugged one way, it might be plugged the other way as well. It could be that he needs the first and last name. And that's really unfortunate if that's the case. Because we need a shell on here. And in order to get that shell, we will need some user to log on here. Maybe let's do the same thing, but this time we're going to try the other user. All the other information should be the same, but the this is another user we're trying to trick into logging onto the system. Okay, so they are not going to admit that they work here. This is unfortunate, so we know that it's the right admin. We know that they have an account on the computer. I don't think there is anything wrong with the information. The only thing I can think of is that they need both the first and last name. And trying to send an email to this admin is also bugged, so that might have something to do with it. Yeah, this just turned a lot trickier than what was the mission. Perhaps it's possible to complete it. Okay, so the person actually wants access to a completely different machine. They want access to this machine right here. That's kind of interesting. So they actually want to get into this computer right here, which is not port forwarded. Well, they just want the login credentials, so I wouldn't say that it's not possible to complete this one, but it seems to be bugged in several ways, and that's going to make it tricky. So if everything is working as it should, then there's not going to be many missions you can't complete, but if it's bugged to this extent, then it's going to be more difficult. And there are a few ways I can think of, but they're even more advanced, so I won't show that in this video. But what we're going to do is we are going to show off that this mission can be completed, as that will be a good ending to this episode. What we will do is we will exit this computer right here, and then we're just going to enter the correct one with router hacking, and here we have the root password for the system that they wanted access to. And we can just reply with the password. Send. And customer satisfied with the job. So even though the mission seemed very difficult, since we could not gain access to the HTTP server on the network, the mission itself was complete. We were able to complete the mission itself, even though this computer for some reason seems to be bugged. Yeah, I think I've shown off that pretty much all servers can be hacked, and if they're extensively bugged, then sure, they're going to be more of a pain. But with some more time and effort, I think we would be able to get in here as well eventually. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and that you saw that it's actually possible to, depending on your skill level, attain more advanced techniques and gain access to more and more securely set up servers. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.